Hello everybody, I'm Alex Weaver here in Studio 3 and I have a couch full of experts, Zach, Jessica, and Jonathan. I'm sitting here with two J's, you need a J name.
I do.
Now we had Martin Truex Jr. We heard about Furniture Row and that move, no longer a team. Martin Truex Jr. is now going to Joe Gibbs, kind of operated under them already, but that's a big move for him and PEARN. What does that do for Joe Gibbs Racing?
I think it strengthens them actually. This was a satellite operation that worked out of Denver, Colorado, and now it's going to be brought in-house. I think it'll be a more seamless transition than most actually, and I don't think there'll be any hitch in what they're doing in 2019.
I think so too. I think you've got Martin Truex Jr. has won 12 races in the last 2 years, so he's already been so strong and dominant, and I think this is only going to help him. You've got Kyle Busch in there, a former champion, you've got a veteran in Denny Hamlin, and you've got a rising star in Erik Jones who showed he could win last year in the Cup Series too.
So I think the biggest thing here is having PEARN in-house for Joe Gibbs Racing is going to lift all four teams. There's no argument that he's one of the top 3 crew chiefs in the garage. They already have the best driver in the garage, Kyle Busch. He's proven he can drive anything. If you listen to him on the radio, he helps crew chief the race as well. So I think the fact that PEARN is in-house, the notebook expands that much more, because I don't believe anything that anybody tells me that there was an open notebook policy. There's things in PEARN's mind that you can't read from Denver, Colorado to Charlotte. So I think having him in-house, I think the rest of the field better look out for Joe Gibbs Racing, because they have big potential next year.
Now the thing that I'm the most interested to see is Kyle Busch is now his teammate. So how is he going to race? Is it going to be a Kyle Busch and MTJ kind of battle, or do we think that they're going to work together?
I think there's limits to that anytime you get together with that. I remember at Indianapolis a couple years ago how that all worked out. The gentleman's agreement that only lasted so long, and I think we'll kind of see that again. I think in general, and not just at JGR, I think being teammates only goes so far until you get down to the late laps and the checkered flag's on the line.
Well, we all know Kyle Busch will battle a teammate when it comes down for a win. So.
Very true.
He's definitely, I think, they're racers at the end of the day, so they're going to race for their team, for their wins, things like that. I think you'll see a little bit more teamwork among them, particularly in the garage, maybe even the crew chiefs, Adam Stevens working more with PEARN, but I think at the end of the day, it's their win, it's their day.
I think Coach Gibbs, he's got a couple Super Bowls there, so he knows how to manage high-stress environments. I think that's where he's going to come in and play a role to make sure. I don't think that they won't not get along, so I think everybody will be agreeable, but if anybody can do it, anybody can manage it, I think it's Joe Gibbs.
All right, possibly the toughest question I may ask you guys. 2019 full season, who has more trophies? Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr.?
This is going to seem like a cop-out, but that's like trying to pick your favorite kid. This is Kyle Busch winning 8 times last year and Truex 4. I think the bar is going to be very high for both those teams, and I'd be surprised if they didn't rack up multiple wins, both teams.
I'm going to go ahead and say Kyle Busch. I think Martin Truex Jr. is going to have a great season. Don't get me wrong, I think he's going to have a lot of wins too. But Kyle Busch, just 8 wins last year, leading over 1,400 laps, and just being right there almost every weekend. I think he's going to have a stellar season as well, and not to mention he's inching toward that 200 win mark, about to tie Richard Petty for combined wins, so that's got to be some motivation too.
I think if you look at the trends since he had his accident at Daytona, everything's trending upwards.
Yep.
5 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 8 wins. I think that's how it's panned out since him and Adam Stevens have been together. That's 22 wins. So, he might break 10 this year. Kyle Busch is who I'm taking.
All right, race fans, if you are a Joe Gibbs Racing fan, you are in for probably a very winning season. We'll see how all of that plays out in 2019.